Alan, can you tell that when I look at my heart rate, this is one of the things I'm always a bit confused on. Sometimes I'll look at the different zones that I'm working out in, and sometimes I feel okay, but yeah, I'm doing a similar workout, but I'm in a totally different zone, and I'm thinking, well, what is that? Is that because I'm tired from just generally tired? Or is it, as you say, for example, I've worked out my legs and my legs have not recovered, so I'm not able to put the effort in.
Yeah.
If I listen to what you were talking about when you look at some of your athletes and look at their heart rate zones, how do you tell the difference from whether they've just not, I suppose, generally recovered, or whether it's more to do with like more of a muscular thing, or are they one of the same things?
I don't know if I could isolate that, Matthew. When they give me their time and their heart rates, I can see how fast they've worked and how hard or easy it was. In your example, you might just got in better shape that day, so it's not as hard to do the same work, right? It's like there's a lot of coaches out there right now, because heart rate technology became commonplace. They use it to kind of observe what happened, right? Where I'll use it to drive what I want to happen. I'll want you to work in certain zones. I'll push you to, I want here. But if I had you do a fixed circuit, right, or a fixed distance, you should either get faster at it if I use a fixed distance, or if I have you run at the same pace for a fixed time. Over time, that heart rate should come down because it's less demanding for you. But acutely, you're like, man, I just can't hit these times. I can't hit this pace. It feels harder than my heart rate suggests it is. Right? My heart rate says I'm at 70%. I can't go any faster with my legs. That's a sign that you need recovery. So you tend to not see it as much with general fitness people, because their lives are, this sounds horrible, their lives are largely the same. With an athlete who has a game, that game can be radically different. Right? You could watch a soccer game and the goalkeeper doesn't move. He has nothing to do all day. He can lift that day. He can circuit train tomorrow, but the forward could be, or the defenders could be working so hard that they need a day off. Right, which is why some heart rate variability stuff can be really applicable for athletes, that you can see things before you're seeing it. With general fitness people, you tend not to see that too much. But if there's a schedule change or a sick child, or you're up late at night, then it's possible that I'm like, that 30-minute run where you'd normally get a 5K, you just can't get it done, and it can be like physiologically the heart rate is not showing that you're stressed. But the body's just like, it's like I said, the most acute example is if I just kick you in the leg, right? That the cardio, you didn't get worse at cardio, right? You didn't lower your cardiovascular response. You just had something where that muscle can't work at its optimal thing. So could I tell it from heart rate alone? Unlikely. From heart rate and speed data and a training diary, probably.
Yeah, and I think, that's why some of this heart rate variability stuff is pretty interesting to me. There's so many variables. You start looking at nutrition, you start looking at sleep, you start looking at cortisol levels, whether you're, who knows, going through a breakup in your relationship, you've got stress at work. There's so many factors that play into your performance. And, that's why athletics are so cool, because when it's game day, everybody's dealing with different variables, and you got to, some people like Michael Jordan or whoever can override a lot of that stuff, and other people, it's just you got to pay attention to it.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff with it, and I didn't get a lot out of heart rate variability myself. My schedule remained, it said take a day off when I was planning to. Right, I didn't get a lot, but I've seen it with athletes whose day-to-day practices could be very different, or games can be very different. There's something there. The argument against it, I've heard some guys say, I've felt terrible, and then I've had a great workout, so I don't know. I'm like, well, the heart rate variability would have told you were good to go, right? It would have said your body's ready. So it's I think we suddenly have a danger of, because of there's a great book, Unplugged, by Andy Galpin, who's a exercise physiologist at CSU Fullerton. And he talks about we have to use the technology to augment what we're already doing, but don't let it replace the coach, right? Don't let it replace, if if I had, like, Pete was about to fight tonight and I got his heart rate variability and he says it's terrible, should I share that with him? Like, I don't think that's a tremendous coaching tool, right? Feel like he's a little flat. Like, I know at Manchester United, they did something with HRV and the Omega Wave, which looked at brain activity, a whole bunch of other things. You just come in and did this check, and then you went and got changed, and then you went to your iPad to get your workout, and it would adjust it in real time. It'd cut your volume, or you'd have a mobility session. So you never, like, if I come in with a client and they're like, I'm like, just mobility today, they may be mad, right? So there's the reality of coaching, and there's the business of running a training business that, like, I want to have all the technology at my disposal, but it still has to go through the eyes and ears of the coach and the client.